Welcome back, everyone, to another Inside City Hall. I'm super excited because today we've got with us one of my favorite departments, Parks and Recreation. We've got Robert and we've got Monica here with us today. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves for those that don't know you? Robert?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having us. I'm Robert Dodd. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Monica Benavides, the Special Projects Manager for Parks and Recreation.
Welcome, Monica.
Thank you.
So there's been a lot of energy around our city with parks lately. And what are some of the most exciting updates or improvements that you guys think are going on right now?
You know, just recently during Memorial Day, we opened up Bill Witt Aquatic Center, and that was exciting. We lots of visitors, lots of excitement over that opening, and it's something that we worked hard on for a couple of years. We finally got it open, so that's the big thing right now in the city, and lots, like I said, lots of involvement through our community. Also something that's important to us is our Cheryl Veterans Memorial Park. We're getting our helicopter, and for everybody that knows, growing up in Corpus like I did, there used to be a big helicopter right in front of Memorial Coliseum. So, just kind of getting that at Cheryl Veterans Memorial Park is special to me because I am a lifelong Corpus Christian, and I think the people are really excited about those two things. And we got a lot of other things going on too, but those two are pretty important to us and pretty important to the people of Corpus Christi.
I completely agree. The Bill Witt Park is incredible. The pools, the new lap pool, it's just a wonderful addition to District 5. And Memorial Parkway, I had no idea we had a helicopter previously, so I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. So how many parks does the city actually have? Where can our viewers go find information about all of them, and what parks are available to them?
We have 196 parks in the city. We can always go to the website, Parks and Recreation, the City of Corpus Christi. There are links there that'll designate you to those locations, as well as all our other amenities within Parks and Recreation.
And you said 196
196
parks. Wow. So your team manages 196 parks in our city. That's incredible.
196 parks, marina, Gulf beaches, North Beach, McGee Beach, senior centers, rec centers. So we have our hands in just about everything. So.
Wow. So that kind of brings me into the next question. Your department does oversee the parks, but you mentioned senior centers and rec centers. So what other programs does Park oversee?
All our programming down on the seawall during the summer. We partner with JJ that does our Bay Jammin' series during the summer and our movie nights during the summer. Our rec centers are after our Kid Power during the school year. We have Spark camps during the summer. Our senior centers are amazing. And I was able to go to one yesterday, and we feed our seniors there. There's lots of activity, lots of things going on, and just the people love it. The people absolutely love it. And so again, like I said, we are involved in so much that
Wow,
around the
it
city.
really seems like it.
And athletics. And there's also swim lessons,
Pools. Everything.
Wow, so everything under the sun.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm excited that we're talking about this now because it's the perfect time for summer. Families are looking at things to do, improve quality of life in the community and get them more active, more involved, and really enjoying our city. So it's great to hear all of the programs and activities that you guys have. Now, from dog parks to shaded playgrounds, it kind of feels like our parks is evolving to meet some of the community's needs. What do you think the focus has been behind some of these upgrades?
Well, I think city council has a lot to do with that. Obviously, they hear from our citizens. When we open up things, we make sure that we share with stakeholders. We get input from stakeholders. We get input daily from stakeholders, emails, phone calls, things like that. Lots of feedback. So that I think that's where that starts, and that's where that generates from. And then once they get some momentum, we're able to find the funding. Dog parks are not cheap. Parks are not cheap to maintain or put new amenities in, playgrounds, things like that. So it's things that we have to prioritize a little bit. We make sure that we cover the whole city as much as we can, from District 1 to District 5. So it's a lot of work, but it's enjoyable, and we have such a great team. I tell you, a lot of times they just last night somebody said, "Man, Robert, you're doing such a great job," and I wanted to make sure that I let them know that I'm not out there doing that every day. We have almost 600 employees, sometimes daily, that that are out there doing that. So our team and our department is just wonderful, and I have a great team from our assistant directors to Monica to everybody else. It's just a great team, and we're very cohesive, and we work well together. And what we're doing is trying to improve our community and make our citizens proud of Corpus Christi.
And it really seems like it. So I'm very excited to see where Parks continues to take it. So one of the next things I want to ask you is when we talk about parks, we think about greenery, we think about the Bill Witt pool that just recently opened. But of course, Corpus Christi is in a drought. How has Parks tried to mitigate through that while still maintaining some of the parks, still having some of the pools open to have those available for family to enjoy?
And I'll start, and then I'll let Monica jump in on this because she has some insight on this too. But we're very mindful. We understand that we're in drought conditions, and we understand that one of the things that previously we thought about, we weren't going to be able to open up splash pads this summer. But through feedback and through talking to council and meeting with city manager and assistant city manager Heather Horbert, we thought we got to do that. We need to open this up for our citizens, and so we came to the conclusion that we can open up on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I think that's a good compromise, and that's something that we do. One thing I'm extremely proud of is we have over 700 trees that we water, and it's on an 11-day cycle. Lots of work that go into that, but we kind of thought outside the box a little bit, and we have these tree teepees now that we've put at some of our parks, West Guth and Hans Suter, that kind of act like a greenhouse, and it requires less water. And the water that we use is the effluent water. So it's not like we're just hooking up hoses and water. We have to go get the water from the effluent. We team up with the fire department. We use some of their big trucks to help us do that. So it's just a lot. We're very, very mindful of the drought, but we understand that we need these amenities.
I can see you guys are trying to be creative in the ways that you use the effluent or the reclaimed water that the city does have available. Yeah. So I'm glad to hear. I think that's very responsible in the way that we're taking ownership of the parks and amenities.
Right. And we're actually building to include, so all of our projects now will actually have effluent line connectivities, or in the future, we're looking to actually enhance the city-wide. So that way, a lot of our parks can just connect to an effluent line and be able to utilize that. And so our teams can get back out to doing what they do, everyday operations, and, save that time and energy. Because we've also been in partnership with the fire department. So the fire department is actually helping our teams out by coming out and delivering water for them so that they don't have to actually go back to the treatment plant.
I love to see that collaboration.
And so there's a lot of collaboration that's going, and even with CCW, they're helping us with water wells and, always thinking outside the box for us as well to say, this would help you all. And so we're definitely looking at different initiatives at every angles, and community feedback is a huge, uprising for us as well.
Well, thank you for explaining that. So I want to circle right back to some of the more exciting things about parks. So it's not just about the spaces, it's really about the experiences. So what kinds of recreation programs are being offered this summer for kids, families, or seniors?
We have lots of activities. We have our sports camps. We do basketball, we do volleyball. We have some strength and conditioning camps that children or kids, to 16 years old can go to. Other type programming. There's, I know yearly we have our senior Olympics, things like that keep people active during the summer. And Monica, you got anything to add to that?
Swimming.
Swimming, yes.
And I don't swim, but I probably will join in one of these swim lessons that we're offering. So because it is the summer, everybody wants to cool off. We understand it's extremely hot outside, and so swim lessons are a huge program that we have. Like we said, we have 2 gyms, so we offer a lot of indoor programming as well. So that way, if you're not a fan of beach or pool, you can go indoors. And we actually have an indoor pool as well, so that's great.
Well, now I kind of want to ask you a different type of question, one that I've seen throughout Facebook. So you've got an adult volleyball league happening every Friday. I'm super interested in that. Can you tell me about it?
It's well attended. People love to go out and I think exercise and be with, have some teammates to play with. And we don't just have volleyball. We have basketball. We have pickleball that's indoor for adults. Softball during the summer as well. people my age and below love to get out and relive old memories of playing with teams and stuff like that. So I think that it's very beneficial. I love to go by and watch them. I mean, you see people from 21 to 85 out there,
I
enjoying their
love
time.
it. I
Yes, and
love
He's
it.
so
still dunking on people out
yeah.
there.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't duck anymore. But it is quite exciting, and it's just from babies to seniors, we have everything covered in Parks and
Well, just
Recreation.
wait. You're gonna see me out on the court. I'm
Okay,
ready for it.
I'll be there. We'll take some pictures.
Okay. Now, Monica, I kind of want to talk to you a little bit. You are a project manager for parks, and I can just imagine there's so many things going on. Can you tell us maybe some of the things that might be coming up or to look out for this year?
As Robert mentioned earlier, we do have a helicopter that's going to be installed into the Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park. Now, for those that don't know what this helicopter is, it is a decommissioned Huey helicopter that's currently being refurbished to be installed inside of the park. It'll be on a 15-foot pedestal where people can admire and take pictures from afar. And we are looking forward to having that done because it really does represent the veterans in our community because they're a huge voice for our community. As well with that, we have our Co-Park Plaza shade structure that's ongoing right now as well. And that we're looking forward to having, musicians out there, more family involved events because it's going to have lighting out there. And it's so hot in the city. So we definitely want to have the shading for the families and people, visitors of the park, just to go out there and explore all the amenities that are currently there now and be able to withstand it a little bit longer in this heat that we
Well,
have.
that's really great news. I love that. There's so many things going forward.
Exactly, and we've talked about the big things that we have going on, but on a daily we replace playground equipment. There's a lot of neighborhood parks that have been upgraded. From Casa Linda Park to Patterson Park to Hans Suter Park to Airline Park. All these parks are little neighborhood parks, but they got brand new amenities in them, and we're working through this. We're working through the process of getting those in every park. Again, with 194 parks, it takes some time. It takes some money.
Yeah.
So we're working through that process, and hopefully I think there has been a change in the last 3 years of how we're moving forward, and we want to continue to get better, and we want to continue to make that change, and we want to continue to make the city proud and have places for our citizens to go to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads me to the next question. You mentioned neighborhood parks. How can residents share feedback with the city on what they'd like to see? Where can they go to talk to someone or maybe submit some of their ideas, questions, or anything that they have in mind for parks?
Our communications department is so good. They can call 311. All of our emails are available through the website, and so I think that's the best the way to communicate. Sometimes phone calls get unanswered, or and I hate to say that, but we're very, very busy all the time. But an email, something to 311, where they contact us and let us know a concern or something that people want is probably the best way.
Got it. And then I know there's some people that really want to get involved and try to support parks in making a change. Are there any boards or areas of volunteer that individuals can sign up for?
So we do have PRAC, which is our Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, as well as we have Adopt a Park. So Adopt a Park does have different tiers to where you can actually adopt a park, and then depending on what tier that you want to engage with, you're cleaning a park on, whether it's a monthly basis, quarterly, semi-annually, you can have events there if you need to be.
Mhm.
And so we definitely encourage, reach out to us, email us, get on that website, and just ask, how can we get involved?
Got it. Okay, that's great. So I want to go back to the number of parks you had. Can you repeat that again?
196.
196 parks.
We gained one, lost one.
Yeah.
So I do want to mention that you guys talked about the city website. So on the website, you're able to scroll through all of the different parks and even narrow down what type of park you're looking for. So you can find some that have maybe a barbecue pit there, that offers a swimming pool and just other amenities. But my question for each of you is, out of all of these parks, what would each of you say is your favorite one?
That's kind of a loaded question. It's like when I ask my mom who's the favorite kid, and she always says me when I'm in the room. But that's a real tough question. about a month ago, I was at Westgate Park at a skate park program, and I drove around Westgate, and I thought, gosh, we got a pool here, we have a dog park here, we have a skate park here, we have frisbee golf there, we have a walking trail. Like, God, this is a great park. Then I drive home and I drive by Lindale Park every day. That's got a splash pad. It's got a basketball court at the recreation center where I grew up playing basketball. And so I drive by that park, and that has so much history to me that that means a lot to me. Sherrill Park, obviously with everything that represents is my favorite. Cole Park, gosh darn it, to drive down Shoreline and see kids at the splash pads and at the playground unit, and people fishing and people at the skate park. So that's a tough question to ask me, because there's so much
Park
good.
amenities to offer.
Yeah, there's
It
so
really
much
sounds
good
like
that it's hard for me to pick a favorite. But I don't know
And
why.
What about you, Monica? Are you feeling the same way?
It depends. It depends on what your feel is for that day. Because, Oso Bay Wetlands Preserve, that is a beautiful preserve that has so many trails. And if you're interested in, the hike and bike type, activity, then that's somewhere you want to go, and we kind of stroll through. They also do have a playground there as well. So, and there's programming out of there as well. So there's always something to do just there alone. But if you want to go like to a more active playground, then of course, you do have Cole Park that has a splash pad and a skate park and the fishing pier and the amphitheater. If we're in the summer, then we're having, movie nights going on there. So you can make a whole day out of that park alone. And then if you're in Bill Witt, then you can go to the aquatic center, and then you can join one of the leagues and do some sports out there. And there's also another hike and bike trail out there. So it really just depends, because also one of my favorite ones that are just kind of hidden is Blucher Park. Blucher Park, if you get down there, it's a beautiful nature walk. There's not necessarily a trail, but it's all, nature. So that one, I like that it's more natural. And so I think that one honestly is one of my favorite ones right now. But it also depends on where the project is.
Makes sense. Okay, so my last question for you guys is, we're in the summer season right now, and we want to make sure that residents take advantage of all of the programs and activities that you guys have going on. What are some must-do activities for families that are searching at the moment?
I'm a big fan of the Bay Jammin' series, and to go down there with the backdrop of our water and the backdrop of Cole Park, and to sit out there and listen to music, whatever type of music.
So is it a live music concert?
It's a live music concert at the amphitheater in Cole Park. They have a list of, again, you can go to our website, check out the times and who's going to be playing and what they're going to be playing. Sometimes I just go down there. I don't care what they're playing, just to be down there, and people take their lawn chairs and they hang out, and that's a good summer program that we have. And again, back to our rec centers, parents are still working, kids are off. We offer that program where we keep kids engaged. We keep them active. They're not sitting at home watching soap operas all day or whatever they watch. But those things are exciting for the summer season, I think. So,
I love that.
yeah.
What about you, Monica?
See you on the seawall.
See
So,
you on the seawall.
See you on the seawall. That one, I believe it's a weekly event, and so they do have live music out there, food trucks, so you can, and it's in the evenings, it's a lot cooler, so you can actually go down there, walk the entire seawall, see all our new Mirador lighting, that every one of them. You can take our entire tourist district, which that team is amazing, just keeping that up with the maintenance on that side, and so you can knock out so many things on just that wall alone. So I really do enjoy that one, and it's free.
And you can see Selena.
That's always a plus.
Yes.
Well, I want to make sure that I challenge the community and residents to try to visit all 196 parks and get to as many programs as you can. Well, I appreciate both of you guys for joining us today at Inside City Hall. It's always a pleasure to talk to our favorite parks team. And we look forward to what you guys are going to continue to do, especially with budget moving forward. We're excited to see what additions, what changes, or what things move along for the city.
Well, thank you for having us. And our communications department is absolutely the best. We love working with y'all, and y'all do so much to spread the word that for Parks and Recreation and for the city. So y'all do a great job too. And thank you for having us here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks for watching Inside City Hall. For more information on today's topics, visit our website and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay connected, stay informed, and stay tuned for the next Inside City Hall.